Now welcome to another special edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Cakes. And let's get right to the news.
So for this news, we're going to be covering more that came out of Day 1 of Star Wars Celebration. If you're looking for the movie panel, that was released earlier.
Yes.
We're going to start out with the animation panel because that was probably the most exciting after, of course, the movie panel.
Yeah.
They're celebrating 20 years of animation. Dave Filoni came out with Athena Portillo. She's been producing in the Star Wars animated projects for over 10 years, including work on Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Resistance, Rebels. Fun fact, the droid AP5 is named for her, Athena Portillo.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I like AP.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a similarity between the two.
Not really. I'm not like moody like him.
No, I mean between her and the droid.
Oh, I hope not.
Maybe the meticulous planning portion or something.
Oh, that could be, yeah.
Filoni says George is a great teacher. He taught me our whole division. He really loved coming to work. It surprised people at Lucasfilm that he was around all the time.
That surprises me.
He was always at work. He loved what he did.
Well, yeah, I mean, he gets to make Star Wars. You are like Star Wars. That's got to be a weird feeling that anytime you speak, you can, once upon a time, you can utter into existence new Star Wars.
Filoni also said he is personally very proud of Star Wars Rebels.
Well, yeah, why wouldn't you be? I thought Rebels, especially for being on Disney XD, being the first kind of major thing from Disney Star Wars, I think they did a great job on that. I think a lot of people forget the channel that was on when they kind of like, oh, it was too childish. Like, yeah, it probably was a little more childish than some people wanted to be coming off the heels of Clone Wars, but I think for what it was really good.
Young Jedi Adventures is going to be premiering on Disney Plus this fall. It is the third and final season.
Oh, speaking of childish, I still haven't seen any of it. I know people tell me all the time to give it a try, and I just haven't yet.
I've seen the shorts, the original intro shorts that they played, but that was it. I thought it was kind of cute. Filoni went on to show a never-before-seen clip of the unfinished Boba Fett arc from the Clone Wars. We saw Boba jetpacking through the bustling Coruscant streets chased by Anakin on a speeder. Eventually, Boba gets knocked down and confronts Anakin, manages to escape, and Anakin talks to a hollow of mace. It's a shame we don't get to see the finished,
They should finish all
arc.
of the Clone Wars episodes. Why not?
The finished arc. Speaking of Star Wars Rebels, we were before. Filoni says Rebels is the first project Lucasfilm did with Disney, so we didn't really know what that relationship was going to be like. They gave us a large amount of latitude. He also mentions that a Disney executive is the one who suggested to bring Vader into the show.
Really? Probably like, hey, can't we get better ratings if we have that
that tall guy
in
the dark armor
thing?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, get him in there. He sells lots of toys and stuff.
Filoni also confirmed that in Ahsoka, he is still working with both the World Between Worlds and Mortis.
Well, I think we knew that, right?
Well, he's confirming Mortis. Because, yes, there were the statues, but that could have just been a little, hey, everybody, look at this.
Well, why would you end the season showing us the Mortis gods and be like, next season, they were just there. Somebody built them because they thought they looked cool.
Just a shrine in the distance.
I mean, it's cool that he confirmed it, because I think we all suspected it.
Dave then teared up, talking about how much working with George, how much his work, everything means to him. He said, following George's vision means a lot to me.
And I believe it, too. I do believe he is. I know people, he changes stuff. He does. I'm not always 100% happy with Dave Filoni, don't get me wrong. But I do think he intends or means well.
Mm-hmm. Next, they premiered a full episode of Tales of the Underworld. That comes out May the 4th. The episode picks up right after Dark Disciple, the book, and explains how Ventress lives.
Somehow. Ventress got out of the pool.
Then skips a few years and focuses on Ventress as she protects a young Order 66 survivor from a never-before-seen Inquisitor. The young Jedi mentions the path and that Quinlan Vos had started it. A review I saw said that the episode was great, amazing animation, and very emotional when depicting Ventress and her love for Quinlan.
Well, I'm happy to see they are acknowledging Dark Disciple, both the relationship with Quinlan as well as the inconvenient little death.
I do like that they're going to touch on Quinlan, and that shows that maybe she is really working for the path, finishing his legacy because she loved him.
Yeah, she did. I mean, he's still around. They could meet again in Tales of the Quinlan Vos, and I don't know what we'll call
it. It's a few years later, so Quinlan might be.
Nah, I think he's still around. I think Quinlan never gets caught by I know it's a problem. Oh, so many Jedi live, but nah, Quinlan's too tricky. He blended right into episode 1. Nobody ever knew he was in there.
That new Inquisitor they mentioned, maybe he'll take out Quinlan before the end.
Ain't no Inquisitor beating Quinlan.
All right, and here we go. Here's the biggest news out of the animation panel. Maul Shadow Lord. Yes. Maul Shadow Lord.
I was
he's
wrong
back.
about Ventress and Omega. Clearly. I don't know how I feel about it. A part of me is, don't get me wrong, I like Maul. I love Sam Witwer. I did that I think I gushed over him a few videos back. Like that
Yeah.
he would be my best friend in another life. But I don't know, like more Maul. It's awesome because I love Maul, but it's like, oh, yeah. There was a little gap in his life we didn't know about, so let's make a series.
Well, we got to cover everything.
No, it's cool. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a little darker, a little grittier, maybe the Andor effect. I don't know. That they're like, hey, maybe if we take Star Wars in a little more of a darker direction, it'll work better. I don't know.
Well, the first thing got shown, a sizzle reel, you could call it, shows Maul as he navigates life between the events of the Clone Wars and Rebels. Maul wants to, quote, rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire. The plot focuses on Maul training a new Padawan after having a vision that she can help him seek revenge. This Padawan looks to be a Force-sensitive Twi'lek that he breaks out of prison and offers to train. Darth Talon, question mark? Obviously, we didn't get to see it, so we don't know what color she is.
Yeah.
Is she red?
I'm assuming, because everybody's saying it's Darth Talon, I'm assuming she's red.
Or reddish.
Maybe she took
Maybe
the
she's
world
more red
between
over
worlds
time.
and went back in time like Ahsoka. I don't know, because she should not be born
They
for
like
a long
to
time
change
yet.
things.
Well,
you know?
Lucas was going to use her too in his sequel trilogy, which would have changed timelines too. So, I mean, yeah, fine, cool. It's easier to bring her in here than to go ahead in the future. And I don't know. I'll see how they use her. Let's say that.
The trailer also shows Maul fight Inquisitor Marok, who says, "So it's true, you live." So I'm curious if this will show how Marok dies, because we
Probably.
know he's brought back by Night Sister magic in the time of Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think we see his demise here.
Maybe we'll see him without the mask, and we know he's an Anakin clone.
Oh, wouldn't that be the craziest thing ever?
Clonican.
They
My
listen
theory
to
of
you.
Clonican returns.
They listen.
It's probably not.
No, there's 0.001% chance it's a clone of
Yeah.
Anakin.
The new footage is dark and gritty as Maul slices up multiple characters with his lightsaber. Rook Cass looks like she's going to be in it. There's like one image we managed to find from the trailer because I can't find a bootleg trailer
I haven't
anywhere.
seen it yet, yeah.
And allegedly shots of bounty hunters are in there.
So some underworld influence. Maybe taking from those
Maybe.
scripts a little bit too?
Well, Sam Witwer came on the stage. He said Maul Shadow Lord takes place 1 year after the Clone Wars. It's premiering 2026.
That's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear
Sorry.
2025.
I know. He also teases that they're reusing ideas from George Lucas's canceled, like,
Oh, I just said that. The
sequel
underworld.
trilogy possible. Some of his ideas from there and other lore.
And other lore.
Or maybe that's partially why Darth Talon's coming, because we know we always liked her.
Well, that's cool to use some... well, I mean, obviously it's Talon now with him saying that because he was going to use Talon.
He liked her, yeah. Also, this is a new animation style, not quite the typical Clone Wars or Rebels style we've come to expect, is what I've heard. We have like 2 images from the actual footage or actual release stuff, so I'm curious. It looks more like a paint type system.
Yeah. It doesn't look
almost
like
more like the Visions project with all the paint colors.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Not opposed to that. This is going to be like a half-hour video.
I know it is. I was afraid of that.
Moving on to the publishing panel. Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary novel got mentioned again.
Yep, $60. Looks cool.
Yeah.
$60 is pricey.
There's an Industrial Light and Magic 50 Years of Innovation book being released in November. So if you're a fan of the behind the scenes,
I'm sure that'll be on our shelf. We have all those books. Like we have a ridiculous amount of like behind the scenes and visual dictionaries and stuff. We just like to look through them.
this year the High Republic will be coming to a, quote, explosive conclusion. There's a comic coming from Dark Horse, their High Republic Adventures, The Battle of Eridu. It's about 2 friends who find themselves on opposite sides of the Jedi-Nile War. The final book of the High Republic will be, of course, written by Charles Soule, Trials of the Jedi. It is described as intense, surprising, and epic by the writing team. Imagine them
saying their conclusion of their 5-year project at this point, I think, is going to be explosive and cool.
Yeah, we got a picture of the concept art behind the Luminous Nine, who are the ones who are taking on the Nile and the Nameless on Planet X in the book.
I am not caught up currently because I have fallen behind because Phase 2 kind of derailed my...
Phase 2 is messy.
Phase 2 is strange. I don't know, maybe Phase 3 explains why we got a Phase 2 more in depth, but I don't know. I've fallen behind. I will catch up. I will read it all because I just read it all.
I can reorganize the whole shelf again.
Yeah, you can.
The Acolyte, the Crystal Crown, follows Jecki and her least favorite Padawan, Yord, as they get roped into a planet-wide coming-of-age ceremony. By the final event, things go very wrong, and they need to work together to save their friend, even if their friend is behind it all.
Well, Yord was my favorite, so
Okay. I sang a song about Jecki Lon.
You did.
The art book of Andor is coming. I know people were upset that we didn't get one previously, but now that it's going to be wrapping up the whole thing, it's going to be one big art book. And then, interestingly, Darth Vader's new book, Master of Evil, by Adam Christopher, takes place shortly after the events of Revenge of the Sith. He says, this period is covered very well in Charles Soule's Marvel comic, except there are gaps in the comics, and there is a particular gap in the comic that I don't think Charles or even Marvel knew about. Darth Vader in this book is going to be learning about the abilities of the dark side and what it means to be a Sith. In the sequel era, Hyperspace Comics Codebreaker is going to follow Poe Dameron and BB-8 as they investigate a First Order weapon right before the events of The Force Awakens.
Oh, I wonder what it could be.
In, as I've been calling it, the Book of Love, Legacy of Vader,
Yes.
number 8, a brand new Knight of Ren will be shown off. Tava Ren is going to be debuting in that book, and she has red hair and a dark side user with a red lightsaber.
It's Mara Jade.
Yeah, that's my literal first thought, is that they're trying to make their own version of Mara Jade.
And attach her to Kylo. You know how angry I would be if you made Mara Jade and made her a love interest of Ben Solo / Kylo Ren?
I don't know.
Please do not do that. Just, if you're going to use her, you
no,
gotta be...
he can't be a love interest, because I thought Rey was his love interest right now.
No, they're dyady. They're
okay.
not. They just kiss because they're friends.
Alright, and Kelleran Beck will be featured in an upcoming issue of Star Wars Jedi Knights.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Give more love to Kelleran Beck. I love it. Moving on to the Manga Mania panel. There is the new logo for Lucasfilm Publishing was revealed, though we probably showed it when we talked about the original publishing panel, because I'm not doing these panels in order. I'm doing them in order of interest.
Of your interest, yeah.
A New Hope, the manga, will release next year, but fans can get an earlier copy through Kickstarter. A collection edition 2-volume hardcover set with a Kickstarter exclusive cover and new English translation is in the works. It is going to be a large print masterpiece edition to reproduce the art's original size.
Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Why are we Kickstartering manga at Lucasfilm?
If you want a special, bigger version of the book.
Well, yeah, but Kickstarter means you fund us to make something. Lucasfilm broke the bank or what? They're out of cash? They can't...
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We got concept art of the High Republic, The Edge of Balance.
Yeah,
they're still doing that.
That's still going, I guess.
Volume 4 has a cute-looking cover. There's also an image of Yoda having a really creepy premonition type thing. His eyes and stuff, it looks really wrong. Creepy wrong. The new manga, Path of the Lightsaber, is set between episodes 8 and 9. It's going to explore themes from The Last Jedi, everyone's favorite Star Wars movie.
I've Kickstarted that one. I want the special cover.
And feature main character Nikoa, who views Luke Skywalker as a rock star. And that was in quotes, a rock star.
So do I, yeah.
Wants to become a Jedi despite knowing nothing about them. One day she finds a lightsaber and believes she can become one of them. It's also going to feature the first new Knight of Ren. I guess we don't count the one that's in the comics.
There's another new one?
Yes, another new one. It's also going to feature a Battle of Endor veteran named Baron. The story is supposed to be kind of reminiscent of the tale of Excalibur, her finding the sword and a destiny. There's also going to be a manga adaptation of Jedi Fallen Order, which looks fantastic because...
Yeah, I'll read that, even though I've played the game 3 times.
I do wonder how they're going to adapt it. I mean, there's the main story, but what about my side quests?
What about the side quests?
There's
not really side quests so much in that one.
It's pretty much a straightforward storyline.
You get to choose which path you want to take, but they're all...
But then this means that this is that will be the canon storyline, right?
Yeah, because you can choose your order a little bit in that game, but yeah, whatever.
And there's also going to be a manga adaptation of Thrawn. I'm
assuming they mean the comic book series, aka also the Timothy Zahn new canon first series that he did?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's move into the Hasbro panel. We're trying to pick up the pace here. I know this is a long one, but everyone who sticks with me, you're getting all of the news. All of it. So Hasbro, they showed off the Celebration exclusive Black Series Ronin from Star Wars Visions Volume 1.
Looks cool, yeah.
The packaging is fantastic. Very cool looking. Ronin being done in the actual color styles of the show, I like that too. Black Series, we have our first new one we're seeing today is the EU Dash Rendar.
Shadows of the Empire. Yeah, kind of cool.
By the
We
way,
knew that was coming, but nice.
all of these pre-orders will go up today. They're up there now. So you can start pre-ordering. Most of them are coming out summer this year. For Black Series, we're also getting Jedi Survivor, Cal Kestis, Turgle, and Scuba Steve.
Turgle.
Yes. A 3-pack
Sort
of
of,
your
yeah.
favorites.
More like a 2-pack with a little extra thing in there, and also a mullet.
Yes, the handlebar
version.
mustache head that
Good
everyone fell in love with.
God,
So
yeah.
And don't worry, BD comes in there too.
Well,
So-
BD comes every time you get a Cal, you get a BD. You have like
I know.
7
They just don't list
BDs.
him like it's like I like Scuba Steve.
Yeah.
He's Scuba Steve, okay.
Yeah.
And these are on Amazon, these ones. We're getting a new Marin
That
Jedi
was a
Survivor
surprise to be
figure
sure, but a welcome one.
for Black Series. They used photo software from the game to get her face as accurate as possible.
Very nice.
Also for Black Series, we're getting a new version, an updated version of A New Hope Han Solo. Much needed update. He's got advanced articulation to make the figure as detailed as possible, so you can get him into some more accurate posing, I suppose.
The images they show look pretty good for the poses, yeah.
Yeah. And to go with that, we're also getting an updated New Hope Chewbacca, who doesn't really look like anything's changed. You're still not going to be able to turn his head much.
Yeah. Well, that goes along with the Luke and Leia that they recently released too, so you're going to have the whole...
The New Hope crowd?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's give the vintage collection some love. We get a vintage Marin.
Yeah.
She looks a lot like the Black Series version, just
Yeah.
miniaturized.
Only smaller.
Also from Jedi Survivor, getting a new rocket launcher stormtrooper. So he's got his big cannon gun.
Yeah. We got one of those in Black Series already.
Yep.
He doesn't like to stand very well.
We're getting a vintage collection Book of Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
Looks
deluxe
like
ones are sitting and rotting on shelves right now, but whatever.
All right, vintage Season 3 Mandalorian Moff Gideon in his dark Mandalorian armor.
Yep. Fake Moff Gideon. The real
Fake
one.
Gideon.
Get out of there.
Yeah,
Mustache.
We all know. And we're getting Crosshair from the Bad Batch.
Yay, Bad Batch
He's
finally.
got that photorealistic face,
Yeah.
not the animated face exactly.
It's about time they do some Bad Batch and vintage, yeah.
They're making a Return to Tatooine playset collection. It looks like it's going to come with some figures you can add to kind of expand your Tatooine.
Cantina,
Yeah.
which was a HasLab project from
Yeah.
like last year.
So you can expand the cantina to outside of the cantina where you get a couple like storefront type things and all
you
that.
can just
and some
recreate
more
Tatooine,
figures.
in your
Yeah.
collection room.
And to go with that, there is a vintage collection Tusken Raider and Harry Bantha.
Yes, the Harry Bantha looks cool.
I
Yeah.
really do kind of like the fact that it's got fur. I mean, it's cool.
You usually yell at me when I buy a vintage collection, but I think
Yeah,
you might allow
no.
this one.
No,
I still don't get this one?
No,
Okay.
it's gonna shed.
We have a big enough problem with that, especially you.
If you put it somewhere that Kylo could get to it, he'd probably lick it and groom it and think it was his own.
He would. Well, would too.
You would too.
Yeah, you
They're
gotta
so-
vacuum every
cats are
day when you
silly.
have 2 cats, especially when one has really long hair. It's great.
Last, I've got miscellaneous news that we learned throughout the day. The trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, A Pirate's Fortune featuring Hondo Ohnaka is launching May the 15th.
Still haven't played Outlaws.
Well, there's a free demo up right now.
I saw that. I'm tempted to download it and give it a try.
I want to too.
I
I
know.
would like to try it because I do play the Star Wars games just in my own time.
Yeah.
I played through Fallen Order.
You did play Fallout. You haven't played Survivor yet, though. You watched me
haven't-
play too much of it, I think, and kind of
Well,
spoiled it.
The jumping puzzles
had a-
looked a bit much.
Yeah, I had to hand the controller to you a couple times. Like, I don't know how to do this, and you're like, oh, let me do that for you. I'm not good at jumping puzzles.
I just don't like when they go overboard with jumping puzzles.
There was a lot of them in Survivor. Yeah.
Well, in Fallen Order, I get stuck up on looking for everything. So it
Yes.
takes me a
Oh
long
my
time to make
God.
it through
I'm
a game.
why are you still here? Well, there might be a
There's a treasure. I
collectible, yeah.
can feel it. I sense it.
through the force.
And then I usually find it and go, ha-ha!
Yeah.
So,
Then you get extra ponchos. Like, where'd you get that poncho?
Yeah.
Like, well, you gotta look.
yeah, I'm like, you're like, where'd you get that lightsaber from? I'm like, it's special for me.
Yeah, you gotta look, man.
Gotta look. Everything looks cool in my stuff. And we also found out Light and Magic Season 2 is now available for streaming on Disney+. It goes over a lot of the prequel trilogy for George Lucas.
Very
It goes
cool.
into Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park, Twisters. It's great. And last, there was a line that Kathleen Kennedy said on the streaming stage, and people are very interested in this line. She said, "You know, fans, everything we do is for you. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do."
Yeah, it's almost like,
People are taking that a lot of different ways.
really?
Yeah. Of course, there's people who are taking it at face value. They're right. Without the fans, you can't
It's
make Star Wars. You need a fan base to continue to fund and create a
You
project.
could replace the word fan with customer, and any business needs customers, yeah.
But of course, there's people who are looking at it the other way, that maybe she's not super happy with fans.
Really?
Well,
I mean,
we're cheering on her retirement.
Well, we've been cheering it on since 2017, so...
There was one person in the comment section for the live stream that kept spamming renew the acolyte.
That was me.
Your or something, I don't know.
Yord.
They kept spamming renew the acolyte, and they were not met with great response.
Yord Horde, that's my burner account or whatever it's called. That's what I go by.
No, but that's everything from day one. I'll probably have to stay up half the night again to start collecting day 2.
Yeah, we were up pretty late last night.
It's a lot of work, but I love to bring this and share this with everybody, so and then we can all talk about.
We got up and we're like, we got to quickly do the movie video, and like, there's a hurricane outside. We're like, we just got to do it.
It was literally hailing.
It was
marble-sized
hailing and like
hail.
lightning, and it's like, just record. People need news from Naboo, because I wanted to get up at the usual 10:30 our time, and I did. Though it sounds terrible. I haven't looked at the comments yet, so I wonder if people are complaining. But for now. This time, no hurricane. So that's all we got for you this time. Take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news about Celebration. We'll be doing more videos about Celebration. Hopefully there's more cool announcements. Either way, though, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.